Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, part 2 on Adventurous. Whoa. Foolish and just downright stupid. And like I say, changing my mind, that's one thing I've learned on people. People respond to pain. Either physical pain, financial pain, emotional pain, doesn't make any difference. They respond to it. Now, and I'm no different. And like I say, because I've experienced many different types of pain, I'm able to set that back on the shelf and use it for future, what do you call it? Oh, I forgot what you call it. When I'm trying to figure stuff out again, I'll bring up the stuff from the back, and that helps me. But the thing is, where stupid comes from is when people get burned, they get hurt, and they don't learn from it. Another part of stupid is you don't look at others and helps you determine what you want to do. Like I say, you see somebody drinking and driving and they get in an accident, I mean, that should tell you, you don't want to get involved in that kind of stuff. But stupid tends to follow stupidity instead of learning from stupidity. Foolish is when you've seen something that was stupid and you're thinking, well, that's because they did it wrong. I've got a better idea. I can do it better. And sometimes that works well, and sometimes you're no better off than the stupid was. So that's where the foolish comes from. In other words, you're not doing enough of the homework to do what it is you want to do, or you haven't had enough experience working your way up to what you saw and thought it was foolish, or maybe even thought it was adventurous. A lot of people think, well, that's adventurous. I can do that, and you go do it, and you get hurt. So that falls into foolish. You weren't prepared. That's where the small goals come in. You work your way up. I mentioned that in the way of, in Marine training, they train to use bayonets. Okay, you do that because it's a scary thing. Like I say, they call them pugil sticks, I believe, and it's just a stick with a pad on the end, but you use the same technique that you would if it was a bayonet, and you brutally beat each other. Now, when I was going through training, there was people that would die learning to do this. I mean, it's brutal. It's very painful. It's tough. And as in Marine training, while we're on that subject, as you keep doing all this stuff and you're working with others, and all these others have the same thing. They're working with the pugil sticks. They're feeling the pain. They understand the brutality that we're going through in the training. This is why in Vietnam, when we were expected to go into danger in which we knew some of us were going to die, if not all of us, we would still do it. And that's because we took baby steps learning all this stuff. Now don't think you would go to Vietnam after the training and you got brutal and start doing all that. It didn't work like that. what happened is you get there and you think, this is nothing like we trained for. But you missed out on what it is that you learned. You learned to be tough inside. Heart, you hear about the heart? That's what you learned. You toughened up your heart. You're fighting not only, and like I say, this is kind of funny here, but you're fighting for the people around you, because when you die, well, then now they're going to die. You have to be as strong as you can, not only for you to stay alive, but when you're alive, it's easier to help other people alive. And this is the part that's really kind of stupid. And we went with the idea we were fighting for our country. We were fighting for we, the people. Okay, so now that goes right over your head once the blood is going all over you. But the thing is, that's, and I mentioned, because this is an important part. Also, we did all this training, and before we went to Vietnam, they said we are under no obligation. The Marines are the most well-trained military service in the world. We can debate about that if you want. You're going to lose, I guarantee, because they are, or they were. I don't know what's going on now. They never used to call the Marines unless they were looking for people to die, because that's what our job was, to destroy and kill people. But they told us before we went, we are under no obligation to take an immoral order. So if somebody told you something that was immoral, if you do that, it's not because of the order. Your responsibility. You are doing something immoral. So don't say that you were ordered to do it. And I thought, well, that was kind of odd, telling us that when we're going to war. And I thought war was full of immoral acts. And it is. And but like I say, you don't have to be part of it. And that's where it comes. Now we're back to adventurous, foolish, and stupid. You see people that do things, either they were ordered, or if they're immoral, they're going to do it. Immoral people do immoral acts. It doesn't matter if you were ordered to do it or not. So this is something that that people don't understand. That doesn't fall under adventurous, foolish, and stupid. That falls under immoral. So, but the reason I even mentioned it is because of the places, the people I see, the things I do. Immoral acts are still part of everything that I do. And if it's an immoral act that somebody's doing to me, like I say, I go out of my way not to do immoral acts. I'm older now. I'm wiser. I know what is moral and immoral. And sometimes there's immoral people that try to do immoral acts to me. A good example where they did it, and that was in Mexico. I had the two prostitutes that tried to steal my phone. Got a video on that. And then the pickpockets, where they team up on you and they're doing immoral acts on you. I've got a video on that. Well, I lost two phones on that. One day and another one on the other day. But now that puts you in a situation, and that's what it did on me. They were doing immoral stuff. Now, am I going to have to do immoral acts in retaliation? And like I say, I don't do immoral acts. So that's just because it's violent, just because you hurt people, doesn't mean it's immoral, because we had to figure that out in war. but like I say, I'm not into, if you know, my self-defense stuff. My self-defense isn't take somebody's arm and twist them and you got control of them. You take martial arts lessons if you want to learn that kind of stuff. When I do self-defense, it's because somebody really is intent to hurt me. And so that's where I do a lot of hurt back. But I can't do it to non-violent acts. The violent acts I can do. You pull a weapon on me, I know what's going to happen. You bring your friends, and you think y'all going to hurt me, that you're fixing to do an immoral act. And so that kind of opens me up to do kind of whatever I need to do. But like I say, so that's what made it kind of rough on me on doing. Do I use violence on an immoral act? This is something that's still kind of rustling around in my brain. And now, see, would I be adventurous to go on and put up a fight? I did put up a fight. I just didn't finish the fight. And you know, I mean, these are things that, so determining adventurous, foolish, and stupid is something that we always will be dealing with. And it is something you need to be thinking on all the time. Because that's part of preparing. And a lot of everything I do is prepare. I mean, in my life, I'm preparing for something all the time. It's for stuff that I don't want to do, and I'm preparing for stuff that I do want to do. So you need to keep in mind your goals. And not to be prepared is foolish. And not to even be aware of the world around us is just downright stupid. But anyway, I thought I'd bring that to your attention. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.